Hey everyone, how's it going? Cotton Candy TA here. Today, talking about a different kind of video than I normally do, but important nonetheless. So, something very interesting happened 4 years ago. This image came up right here. Oh, this one on this side. I'm still getting used to this green screen. This image came up about 4 years ago. Some people who were very jealous of what I was doing took this image and took it out of context. Simply took an old picture where I was trying to explain something to one of my students in my Discord channel, took it completely out of context, photoshopped out all of the spots that they didn't want you to see, and started spreading this image around. It was another influencer who, again, was just very jealous of what I was doing. And at the time, I made no big deal about it. I was just like, okay, that's just crazy being crazy. Same old typical stuff. People are jealous, and that's fine. They're allowed to be jealous. My science is pretty magical, right? So naturally, you do get some people hate on you for it. And this image started spreading around. And I just, this is 4 years ago. And back then, I remember thinking, whatever. Kind of funny, right? And then some people started to really cling on to this image, thinking that it was real, and it actually is a real image. I'm going to talk about that. They started to cling on to this thing, and they started to say, "Wow, Cotton, he's a fake. Look at this. He just knew Head and Shoulders not even that long ago. It's crazy. All of a sudden, he's this brand new trader and all this stuff." And I noticed something special was happening. I'm like, so a crazy person created this rumor, and it's attracting all the other crazy people to go and follow them. So in a way, in the moment, I was kind of like, this might not be a bad thing. This is actually kind of cool. It's showing me kind of who doesn't belong in my server and who has to do my job for me. So when my server first opened up, my Discord server, there was about 10,000 people in it because I made it completely free for everybody. At that point, a bunch of people had gotten this image and they ran wild with this idea that this was kind of like the truth about Cotton Candy TA and all this stuff. And it was a completely out of context image, right? But again, when I had like 10,000 people in my server, pretty much every day, all day long in my Discord server, it was completely open to the world. And all I was doing was just mediating messages, deleting offensive things, kicking people out, putting out fires. It was just a gong show. So like I literally closed it down, kicked everybody out, opened my patron, and that's where my patron came from, right? Because I said, okay, like there's got to be a better way. We got to just kind of paywall this Discord, and if people want to join and learn the science, well, they can, and it's here, but I don't have time to kind of mediate children all day long. So I had this kind of interesting idea then to leave this image up at that moment and just say like, you know what? All the people who are kind of believing in this stuff, they're the kind of people who aren't really going to make it in day trading anyways, because they're the kind of people who will believe in anything. The same type of people who are looking for the same get rich quick schemes are the same people who just simply wouldn't ask the question, hey, Cotton, is this image real or not? Or simply just look in the open chat server and just put in the search bar potential Head and Shoulders on the 5 and just see if the image was real for themselves, right? So I kind of let this image just sit there and do my job for me. It was almost like the perfect tool. Like, why waste your time catching snakes when they'll poison themselves, right? Like, why waste your energy? It kind of almost in a way became the best moderation tool. So back in the day, me and a small group of people, we made kind of an ongoing joke about this image. Like, hey, this thing is actually doing its job. It's pretty decent. It's like having a mod without having to have one. Anybody who believes it, it's a quick, easy ban. These are the people who are just going to be problems in the future anyways, who aren't going to make it and then just blame you anyways for their own mistakes. So kind of just leave this image up for a while. So I left this image up. I could have just deleted it or edited the context or whatever back in the day, but I was like, no, why take this down? It's doing an amazing job of just filtering out kind of these people in my Discord for me. So why take it down? Let's just leave it up and see what it can do. So it became this kind of like ongoing thing. And it had done such a good job of helping me filter my Discord from people who just couldn't learn the science and shouldn't be there, kind of just like the trash rolling in through and in and out on a constant basis, that I just kind of left it. And here we are 4 years later, and the image is still up, believe it or not, unedited, so people can see the real version. So for the past 4 years, I've kind of let this thing, just people who use it, kind of shows how like, not really understanding they are, not really getting these things, and things just aren't quite clicking because it would just take a simple search. So I left it in my open chat for 4 years, and I would always get messages, and people would be like, I don't understand why people say this message about you. Don't they just use a search bar? And I just always kind of like, yeah, I don't know. They're just, jealous. And there's been dozens of influencers who have clung onto this image. And when influencers started clinging onto this image, I knew that I would have to leave it because quite some time had passed. And I was like, I need to just leave this thing for years to see how dumb and stupid people can really get and how down bad they really like. How fried out are these people? I've got influencers passing this message around. I've got people on Twitter passing this message around, and nobody actually looked at the origin of the message. So in a way, it's kind of been this ongoing 4-year meme that like thousands of people have been the victim of, thousands of people spreading this rumor about me. And yeah, let's go take a look at the actual image, because it's hilarious how dubious this was, that for 4 years, people like influencers, you know, it's just like people who think that they're getting the wool pulled over their eyes, and all these people, it's been hilarious to sit here for 4 years and watch people kind of just, like I said, why catch snakes when you can simply let them poison yourself? Why waste your time? Why hire a moderator when you can have a picture do it for you in their own brains and their own minds? Let that stupidity bleed through and they find themselves on the other side anyways, right? So guilty as charged. It's been kind of an ongoing meme for 4 years, and I haven't clarified it with my community for this reason. So apologies to those of you in my community, but I'm sure you understand and you don't care, and you're just going to get a good laugh at the people who have been kind of played up by this image, because it is quite dubious, and it is quite hilarious that people would fall for this. So we're going to go over to my Discord server now. And a few days back, I took my my open chat channel, which has been open for 4 years. I have all the best secrets in here, and all the, you know, everybody who's come through and tried to learn my science, all your names, I got them in here. So influencers and everybody, right? So this is just open chat, right? I've just named it to YTR as YouTube recording because I just simply took it off, but it's got years of information here. So what we're going to do is, for anybody who's actually just kind of using their head to think for 2 seconds, they would have just put this in the search bar. They would have hit enter like so, and they would have said, oh, hey, look, here's the original post. And if you click this image here, you can go open original. And, you know, just so people understand, we're going to, let's do this. We're going to hit open original, and you can see the address there. So you can check it yourself. We're going to go like this, and we are going to copy and paste this image into the window that we just had, just to kind of show that, hey, this is the same image, right? Go here. We're going to go here, enter that image into the search bar. Blam, there we are. Oh, might have been the wrong one. I have a second picture here. Hold on, let me get the other picture. This is the wrong one. There's 2 pictures back to back. I think I clicked the one on the top by accident. It's this one. Open original. There we go. This is the one. Hit yes. Okay, there we go. Blam. The blam worked this time. Let's go over to the picture. There we go. Picture side by side, and this is the original image, so people can see that. Hey, look, this is that kind of original image that we saw. Everybody saying like, oh, Cotton doesn't know the science he just learned, and meanwhile, I've been here for how long, right? So we're going to hide this, and then we're just going to go read the rest of the context for this message. So simply put, if you would have just asked me, if anybody would have asked me, I would have told them the truth back in the day. Well, there was no truth to tell. It was always just the truth. You could have just searched this. Somebody had asked me to explain the Head and Shoulders to them. And this is the one part of it that people snapped with that image back in the day when Discord was still loading it. Remember, this is a 4-year-old post. This goes back to October 2018, as you can see. Like it's pretty old, man. Like this thing's old, so the picture doesn't load anymore. But anyways, you can just click on it and open it and see. And so what they've done is they've just kind of let it be like this. Oh, potential Head and Shoulders on the 5. Cotton doesn't know what he's doing. But if you simply just scroll down, you could see that I was just simply explaining to somebody that Head and Shoulders actually doesn't exist. The same story I've been telling forever, and that I don't actually use Head and Shoulders. That could be our low before the pump. Not 100% sure, as Head and Shoulders is just valleys. Head and Shoulders doesn't actually exist. It's valleys theory. But yeah, the quick and dirty, potential Head and Shoulders scene, triple valley break, and so forth and so forth and so forth, as you go and hit jump to present and go to the current time frame where we are right now in, oh, let's highlight this here. Come on, Discord. I know you can do it. There we go. June 12th, 2022. So for 4 years, I let this kind of idea that people had about Head and Shoulders, and it's probably lost people. Like, I don't know how many people like have this image, this fake image that people believe. I don't know how many thousands of people's lives this thing has affected, because they simply just didn't slow down and think or check the history. You could have just been in our open chat and just punched in this Google. And if you did and chose not to like look forth and believe it a little more, just simply ask the question, hey, what's this picture about? You would have seen that it was just taken completely out of context by another influencer who's very jealous of what I do and just wanted to kind of spread some fake news. So for 4 years, I've been using this image and leaving it up and having a laugh about it behind the scenes. For 4 years, I've been using this thing to filter my community and to filter the trash out of my community so I don't have to do it, because honestly, the same kind of people who want to get rich quick overnight are the same kind of people who are like very prone to believe this kind of out of context image. First thing they see, bang, 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 they leech onto it like it's the last thing to survive. So as soon as they have a first few failed trades and they see this image, they're like, oh, Cotton's a scammer. Look at this image. It's crazy. He's scamming everybody, right? So they get this like kind of crazy take, but this is exactly what it was meant to be used for. And I noticed this very early on when the image was first doing its job properly. And I just thought it was kind of a joke back in the day. I thought, well, this influencer is passing this image, like I made nothing of it. But then I saw all the losers in the community latch to it. So I was like, this thing is like a loser magnet. Why would I get rid of it? Like, I don't even need a mod in my channel. I can just let people, because the image gets spread around. Like if you know me, you've seen this image because it gets passed around. So you either choose to believe it or you just simply ask me. So this thing was like the perfect loser magnet to have people look at it. They're going to fail anyways, because it's the same people who fail in these markets are the same ones who are trying to get rich quick overnight, who are the same people that don't have control of their emotions, who can't think logically. It goes into a whole queue of the way that we think as human beings. Can't think logically, slow down, think about, ask a question. Where did this image come from? Can I see an original copy? Should I just put in the search bar potential Head and Shoulders 5 to see if I can find what this is about? Nope, they make emotional snap decisions. And that's the same people who are never making money in the markets. It's the same people who want to get rich overnight, fast, bang, bang, quick. It's the same people who lose all their money. They go over leverage. They blame everybody else. So it was like the perfect loser magnet. So I let this thing go on for 4 years now. It's been 4 years, and it's time to retire this image. It's time to retire this thing because the community's clean. It's been working great. It's, you know, it's just kind of at that point where it's just kind of gross now if you mention it. Like you're just kind of weird mentioning a 4-year-old image. But at the end of the day, you've been part of an elaborate 4-year meme where people, and myself included, have been laughing behind others' backs just because they choose to believe in this nonsense. So I guess the lesson of the story is don't believe everything you hear. Use your own judgment and simply just ask questions, because not everything is as it seems. And if people feel like they're acting deceptive or dubious, it's usually the case. So where people thought like, oh, there's something more to this story, there was. You were just unfortunately part of a bigger meme that's been lasting for years, where I use this as a filter, a moderator tool, a way to just get the trash out of my community without having to worry about doing it myself, because people always found themselves on one side or another of this story. So interesting twist to a 4-year meme story. I don't know how to end this thing. It's just kind of, it's time to just laugh and let go, I think, because if you've been on the other side of this thing for 4 years, sorry, man, you got kind of, due to do that, you got kind of ripped on. Cheers. See you on the next one.